If you also feel the same, he's got you covered.
Yes, he does.
He's got you covered. There's a persistent rumor that holds a Tetris high score at the laundromat next to the convenience store. Now Controllerhead is here to talk all about the games that you revere. Now here's Controllerhead.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Formula One, built to win.
Formula One Built to Win is my favorite racing game on the NES. I don't usually get into racing games, but this one is exceptional. There are 4 types of cars in this game: the Mini Cooper, the Vector W2, Ferrari F40, and a Formula One Indy-style car. If you wait at the title screen, information on each car will be displayed, and then it will show a clip of some gameplay with that car. I have not really heard too much hype around this game, but I intend to build some. For starters, the game has a battery in it, which means you can save. There are 2 modes of gameplay. There is normal, where you can start a racing career, name your driver, and build up your car as you race from town to town. And free mode, which you can choose of any of the cars and choose a level, but not face off against any other racers. I think this is more to just get comfortable with the way the game works and with the tracks. For some reason in normal mode, when you put in your name, it has you put your first initial and then your last name. So there's always a period in your name, which I think is kind of weird. After you have set up your racer with a name, we are now on the most geographically inaccurate representation of the United States I have ever seen. It looks like a circuit board or something. There are many places to race, although you can't start out at any of them. For most cities, you need to have achieved a higher rank to participate in the races. You will need to beat all races of a particular rank to move up to the next rank. You pretty much want to start in New York and work your way out. When you choose your destination, you will have 4 options. Office, which is where you go to select a race. Here it will note the name of the race, the rank, and how much it costs to participate. At the bottom of the screen is how much money you have, and your license. Apparently at this point I'm driving without a license. To spice up the menu screens, they do have pretty cool anime characters. They do have limited animation as well. It isn't the best, but it makes the game look pretty nice. Next is the parts shop, where you can pick up some nice upgrades for your car with your race winnings. Nitrous for speed, tire for traction, engine for speed, bumpers for bashing into other cars, and chassis for strength. Some cities have speed shops, where you can sell unwanted spare parts for extra cash. The next option is car check, where you can basically just check out what your car's stats are and what parts you have on. Finally, save game, which does just that, saves your game.
Controllerhead, you're so awesome.
Tell me something I don't know.
Further oxidation of sulfuric dioxide, most times in the presence of a catalyst such as nitrogen dioxide from sulfuric acid.
So when you start out a race, you can select the music type. You can go with no music, or there are 3 types to choose from. I personally love number 1, but really can hardly stand to listen to 2 and 3. This game handles pretty nice, and the skill level progresses at a good pace. There ends up being a great level of challenge in psyching out the other cars. It's a lot of fun upgrading your car to meet the challenge of the next race. You gas with the A button, B is brake, pressing up on the D-pad will use your nitrous, start is pause, and select is a pretty awesome feature that will allow you to quit the race at any time. The graphics in this game are not the best, but good as far as NES racing games go. The scenery changes enough with every city that it keeps it interesting. There are plenty of skylines and real cities that you race in. There are also various times of day represented. Another interesting feature is when you get to Vegas, you can actually gamble your race winnings. Oh, and just a little tip, don't forget to nitrous up before each race. I would always seem to forget this. Like I said, this game is good stuff, Maynard. I would recommend it to any old school gamer, even if racing games aren't your bag. It is comparable to games like Pole Position and Rad Racer, but in my opinion, this game wins out every time. So keep it real rockin' the old school. Controllerhead's out.